Hello BookTube, my name is Paul and today I thought I would do a bit of a book haul for you. Book hauls are something that I can't see me doing a lot of simply because I'm quite a slow reader, so I tend to pick up books quite sporadically here and there now and then, and so it's very rare that I have a lot of books that I acquire at once. But it just so happens that I've picked up 3 or 4 interesting books over the past month or so, and so I thought that I would show you the ones that I've picked up today. So the first one that I've got is this. It's Dickens' Christmas Stories. I picked this up at the library where I worked. It was one that was going to be thrown out, so I purchased it, and it's a really nicely presented book. It looks old, but it's not old. I think it was published in 2007, if I'm correct on that. Yeah, 2007. And it's the Christmas short stories, including, of course, A Christmas Carol. Let me just see what else is in this book, short story wise. It's got A Christmas Carol, it's got The Chimes, it also has The Cricket on the Hearth, The Battle of Life, and The Haunted Man. So some nice stories there, some of which I haven't read. I actually already owned this book in another form, in the Penguin Classic edition, and this one has slightly different stories in it. It has one of my favourite Dickens stories, which is The Seven Poor Travellers, and I was quite disappointed that The Seven Poor Travellers didn't appear on this one, but I'm kind of over the disappointment of that now, and I'm really looking forward to reading this around about Christmas time. Of course, it deserves to be kept for the right time of year. And one of the really nice things about this book is the illustrations. It has some really nice illustrations in the book. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's very well illustrated. Let's see if I can find another example for you. There's that one there. So yeah, very pleased with this. I'm going to get into that over Christmas, so I'm looking forward to it. The next book, again, is a library book. I'm kind of very lucky because I work in the back area of a library where there's over 100,000 books in stock, and I work with the books, service them, repair them, etc. And I'm spoilt for choice, so I'm very lucky. But I spied this book the other day and felt compelled to read it, and it's the Titanic Lives. You can see that there. Written by Richard Davenport-Hines. I'm absolutely fascinated with the Titanic story. I always remember that there was one year, I think it was on one of the anniversaries of the disaster, and the job I had at the time involved driving all night, and they played a minute by minute account of the disaster unfolding, and as it was playing over the radio and I was driving away, there was quite a storm blowing outside, and it was the middle of the night, and it just was the perfect way I think to listen to the Titanic story, because the storm that was blowing around me really added to the feel, and so I was interested in the Titanic story before, but that just really increased my interest in the story. But I'm looking forward to reading this. This will be the first book I've read on the Titanic, and I'm also very interested in photography, and there's some amazing photography included in this book. Here's an example of the Titanic leaving port for the first time. This is a quite nice photo. And knowing what we know now, of course, it's really quite moving, a lot of the pictures. But yeah, that's the Titanic Lives. Very much looking forward to reading that one. The next book, again this is a library find, and there's something about old books, not just books that were written a long time ago, but old editions of old books. And this one is 40 years old now, almost as old as me, and it's All Quiet on the Western Front. You can see that there. It's yeah, it's a bit of a tatty edition. It's rough around the edges, but it is 40 years old, and there's something about old books that I love. The feel of them, the smell of them, the fact that they've probably been read by so many people before you, and it's something that's really nice to have, I think. Old editions of books. It's something that I think I would like to get into, is to start collecting these old editions. I think I would really like to do that. I'm going to have to do some research, find some websites where I can purchase some old editions, and of course there's always second-hand bookshops and the like for finding these things, but I think it's something I'm going to try and to build up as a collection of these old books. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I've never read it before, so yeah, that's going to be good. And the last book today that I'd like to show you, this again is a library find, an ex-library book. And this is different, this is quirky, this is going to be a lot of fun. Apparently there was a magazine that was available, I think in the sort of 40s, 50s, around about that time, called the WideWorld, True Adventures for Men. And this is the book here, if you can see that. Oh. If I can get the camera to work. It's a lot of fun, you know. It's got some marvellous stories, some illustrations. If I just read out one or two of the titles, you'll get the general gist. Out of the Lion's Jaws, Band Saw Amok, A Fall of 3,000 Feet, A Fight with a Leopard, and it's those kinds of stories. Here's an example of one of the magazine covers there, if you can see that. One of the things that amuses me quite a lot about this book is some of the advertisements that they've included. Like this one, which is an electrical, high frequency electrical treatment in your own home to solve your hair troubles. So if you need to regrow your hair, that may be the answer for you. Some of the other adverts include, just on one page, You can improve your fishing and shooting. You can cure your deafness, learn shorthand in 24 hours, cure your stammering. And according to this, handsome men are slightly sunburnt, so if you want that slightly sunburnt look, you can achieve that with some bronze laboratories. You can cure your bow legs. You can look taller by attaching a back device to yourself. You can get a tattoo, and you can have the perfect looking nose by attaching a sort of brace-like structure to your head. You can see maybe you can see the advert there for that. Quite good stuff. So that is WideWorld Sheer Adventures for Men, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun reading this book. A lot of quite good illustrations that are going to be quite a lot of fun. As I say, it's a bit dated now, but not to be taken too seriously. And yeah, very much looking forward to reading this. Oh, there we are. So, that is my book haul for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see if I can report back on some of those books once I've read them. And I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day. As usual, feel free to get in touch, leave a comment, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.